Turn all audio on. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm Aaron J. Jackson. I'm based out of Liberty City, in a town in Miami, Florida. I'm a photographer, director, um, an author, and founder of Bajj Studio. I do a lot of things, but that's just a brief thing that I have going on.
What is beyond the scenes?
Beyond the Scenes is a platform I'm creating to showcase, different talents and different entrepreneurs and creatives, and embracing their limelight. I feel like a lot of people don't get to see people's POVs and how they came up and stuff like that, and that's just the type of thing I've been endeavor on, for sure.
So why?
Well, I feel like a lot of people are underestimated on what they do, and I feel like the influence I have is going to make an impact based on who I respect, based on their craft and stuff like that. So I feel like it's my job and my duty to showcase that. I always been on that type of time. I always been on that type of time based off of showcasing everybody's talents. I always feel like it's a lot of, especially in South Florida, it's a lot of underestimated talents out here. And everybody go to the New Yorks, to the LAs, and but even the Atlantas. But a lot of people don't. I feel like they don't respect South Florida. So it's my job and duty to embrace that. Yeah.
Congratulations on receiving your Ellie for 2023
For sure, for sure.
from Oolite.
Yeah, shout out to Ulike, man. That's one big happy family for sure. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Roscoe, shout out to Reginald, shout out to Terrence, you know what I'm saying? Them boys kind of always wanted me to embrace Ulike because of what capabilities that they can bring to the table, as an artist.
Can you share what winning this award means to you in your artistic journey?
Uh, shit. I feel like it means a lot because when you get this award, it it brings so many opportunities, and resources, and you're able to network with different type of people, and that gives you in the certain rooms and stuff like that. So I think I always try to embrace and tell people, try to broaden your horizon and meet different types of people because you never know what this gets you. I've been in the scene for many years, so I feel like by me getting in the door, that should encourage people to try new avenues to, bring resources, especially in South Florida, for sure.
Okay. So
Greg, pull me up, the mezcal, man. My bad. I gotta, I gotta open up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We good.
toast. Do you want to do a little toast?
Salud.
Salud.
Yeah.
So since we're here, tell me what your upbringing was like in Liberty City.
Well, it's a lot. I mean, you gotta be from the city to understand the city. You get what I'm saying? I feel like I feel like you gotta you gotta just like it's a lot of crazy shit that happened in the city, but it's also good shit that happened in the city. My upbringing, I was blessed because my grandma raised me, and in my neighborhood, a lot of people either grew up with their aunts, the typical hood shit. Either you grow up with your grandma, your aunt, or your mom. You didn't really have no daddy. So when it came down to, that, what I'm saying, it was like a form of relatability. But as far as my grandma, she was fucking strict, I ain't gonna lie. But it got me to where I am right now. You get what I'm saying? So she was very big on education. You know what I'm saying? When it came down to education and being in the books, at the time when you're young, it's like whatever. But as you get older, you start to understand, oh, she was strict for a reason because when you go outside that door, It's niggas doing their thing. They selling dope. They gang banging. They doing their thing. So, and it's an easy influence because once you go to the park, you see that shit right there. You know what I'm saying? But overall, Liberty City made me. I love the upbringing because at the end of the day, we all family. We all in one. When it comes down to the people in Liberty City, like majority families on top of families. My family grew up with other families, you know what I'm saying? And it's all in one, it's a unity, it's family to me. That's how really my upbringing is or was in Liberty City. Sorry.
Can you expound on living in Liberty City, especially in the 90s to the 2000s? What are some of the vivid memories you have in your neighborhood, and how did the community shape who you are today?
Well, shit, moving in first, the first time I moved in, shit, I remember one time we used to stay on 103rd. Me and my grandma, she had a duplex, but she sold the property. So being on 103rd, transitioning to Liberty City, and that was like around '03. But I always used to go to Liberty City a lot, but I was a little kid. But what I remember is seeing the difference. 103rd is still kind of hood, but once you go to that city, you start seeing projects, you start seeing all that shit. So just seeing when I first moved as a kid, the difference, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the memories. But the one thing I did remember is like the history, because my aunts and my uncles used to tell me in the '60s they had a skating ring, they had the Pac Jam on 12th Avenue, 54th Street. So it's a lot of just hearing the history in the community, other than the negative stuff. You know what I'm saying? So those are like the memories I really remember. I remember being in the back seat, hear my aunt coming down back in town. She was telling me on 12th Ave that wall on the poker beans that used to separate the blacks and the whites. So just hearing the history, hearing the history about my town, and that's why I try to do the best I can to be an empowerment or empower Liberty City based off of what I do, because I feel like it's not too many people, or it is people, but I want to embrace and influence people based where I come from and let them know they can do this shit too. Coming from where we come from, for sure.
Is that how you're gonna continue your heritage and legacy within Liberty City?
For sure. I mean, I got to. I mean, it's a lot. The perception of Liberty City, and I get it, but the perception of Liberty City is bad. The news, predominantly, if it's Miami, like the city area from North Miami or Carroll City on down, I feel like Liberty City and Overtown gets the most flack. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's the environment, but it's a lot of good as well that happens in the neighborhood, especially like activists out there. So but that's one of my goals. I definitely, this is why I do what I do. To inspire people.
And who has inspired you from the city?
As far as what, Liberty City?
Liberty City, Miami.
Blaze Carter. Shout out to my dog. That's one of my guys. Surprisingly, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't condone it, but the Dope Boys growing up, like, you know what I'm saying? That was shit. They had money. That's, as a kid, you looking at people with the money. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, that was the situation that they did, but that was really the empowerment of getting money. You wanted to get money. So those are like I influence. I got influence off of that. That's pretty much it, man. Like, just the people. Uh, that's really all we had, to be honest with you. We didn't really look up to too many people because we didn't really had too many people to look up to other than ball players and shit. But them people wasn't coming to the neighborhood.
Are there like a few current celebrities that are from Liberty
Yeah,
City?
I mean Trina and Trick, but that was just like they rappers and shit. That's common. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the average person,
Common.
yeah.
How about like there's an artist, Purvis?
But I'm talking about growing up.
Okay.
Like growing up.
But like within your family history, they didn't teach you about some of the artists, the visual artists that.
Well, Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali for sure, because he's living in Liberty City. A lot of
Okay.
people don't know
Oh, I
that.
didn't know that
He
either.
had a burger spot right there on 17th Ave. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, Muhammad Ali, doing a lot of research on that for sure. Muhammad Ali, even Malcolm X, Malcolm X and them. A lot of celebrities used to come down in the '60s. So I would say that because that just
Okay.
let me know a lot of people embraced Liberty City around those times. So I would say that. And
So
there's no knock to Trick or Trina. It just that was just like, oh, that's Trick or Trina. Like that's what happened.
it's
You know what I'm
like
saying?
family and like part of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, with the people that were not within your family, how did your family and your friends inspire you to be the photographer and multidisciplinary artist that you are now?
Well, I give thanks to my grandma. The reason I say that is because how should I say this? Because she the one kind of influenced me to pick up a camera. Because she would like with family events, she would just kind of like tell me, um, "Hey, forget all that. Get the camera, take a picture." I'm like, "Damn, I ain't really trying to do all that." But as I got older, I embraced it. I would say that little moment made me realize, that influenced me. And then my cousin back here sweating and shit, you know what I'm saying? He influenced me. We was in Atlanta, and he put me on the Tumblr. He was like, "Cousin, you heard about Tumblr?" I was like, "Nah, what that is?" And I was like, it's like Twitter, but it's like with pictures and shit. And when he influenced me on that, I was just like, "Yo, this is crazy." That made me want to pick up a camera. And luckily, following year, I had to pick my classes. So when I picked my classes, I had photography. You know what I'm saying? And I chose it, and I had it in the following year.
Was that for high school or for college?
High school,
Okay.
for sure, high school. And I give thanks to him because he really influenced me to embrace photography. Because this nigga always had the gadgets. He was always up to date with shit. And this was like the mid 2000s or mid and late 2000s. And that right there definitely made the person I am today, for sure.
And that's the reason why you chose photography,
Tumblr, for sure.
Tumblr?
Tumblr and him, you know what I'm saying? And I think that made me embrace the arts because I was playing basketball. I wasn't gonna make D1. I wasn't crazy like that, but you know, um, they laugh in the back. I see them. I wasn't crazy like that, so I had to choose, and that was a pivotal moment in my life because I was like, bruh, ball was life, but I was just like, shit, what I'm gonna do? And that trip that I took to Atlanta, at spring break really made a difference to what I do today, for sure.
So how has your photography evolved from your first click, from you first getting it from like taking family pictures to where you are now, where you're like creative director, behind the scenes?
How say that again? I'm sorry.
How has photography evolved from your first click to where you are now?
Oh, shit, man! I remember first time I did my first shoot. That was in Wynwood. It wasn't in Wynwood today. It was still like little car shops in Wynwood and shit. But you had the Wynwood building, and I remember I was in high school, so I did my first shoot. Her name was Barbie. Her name was Barbie. We used to call her Barbie and Zoe. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just like, I was nervous as hell. So I was just whatever. I guess it looked good. So when I went back, I didn't know nothing about Photoshop, nothing. So it was online shit, online little Photoshop, wannabe Photoshop. So my picture was saturated, all type of shit. So to see what I've done and accomplished over time, it definitely gotten better for sure. And over time, excuse me, over time, I used to cry like because like how is my pictures not getting like this? I used to be like, man, my shit is trash. How can I get better? So it evolved because now I implied storytelling to my imagery, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like by me putting the storytelling element in my photography or just my imagery, it enhanced times 10. Because back then I was just shooting just to shoot, and that's how you really get better, for sure.
That's beautiful.
Hmm.
So when you
Yeah.
approach a new project, whether it's a photo shoot, directing a video, or creating or creative directing, what are some elements you focus on to ensure your vision comes across effectively?
Um, how do I? You asking if how I
How do you get your vision across in whatever
Oh,
medium you use?
I always try to well, one, I always do my research first. I always be around people. I'm like a journalist. I'm always intrigued by people. I'm always intrigued by I'm always intrigued by how people are. That's why if you look at my work, when I photograph, they look at ease. You know what I'm saying? So it's because I talk to people. When I get inspired by having conversations with people. You understand what I'm saying? So when I talk to people, um, that kind of enhanced my storytelling. I don't know if that answers the question, but I always do my research. I really watch movies too. I always look at certain cinematographers or even directors and see how they um, storytelled with that and get inspired by that and just really try somewhat a type of inspirations. But it's just really talking with people, everyday people, and their perspective on life. You know what I'm saying? So for sure.
With that, like, how are you able to gain their trust with the subject matter?
Conversation. I feel like if you once they see that I don't judge them or embrace, and that's with anything. It don't have to be with art. It's just in general. I feel like I'm a monk. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people trust me with what goes on in their mentality or their mind. I had people tell me, I ain't gonna put it out there, but tell me some dark shit, and the reason they able to tell me that because they are able to trust me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't judge them. I that's, I mean, even when it comes down to my portraits, like before you even take the picture, I'm having a conversation with you. Like, forget about this picture I'm about to take. Like, how's your day, bro? Like, what you did yesterday, bro? Like, how, you know what I'm saying? Them little moments, and them moments really count. You know what I'm saying? And then once they feel like, oh, that's Aaron. Come on, man. When we do the shoot or when we take the picture, it just becomes what it becomes. So, and then that's just what it is. And that's whoever's watching this. If you're a photographer or even a cinematographer, use those techniques because especially shooting regular people, because those little things matter for sure. Because that's how they're gonna trust you to take that picture.
What does BAJJ stand for? Like, what is it and what does it stand for?
Well, it's bajj, and it stands for by Aaron J. Jackson. Um, yeah, I created that during the pandemic. I was going to school around that time too, so um, I was going to school around that time, and it was. I just feel like I know about the apparel world. Well, I don't know. You about to ask me that, but it's a apparel brand that I made. It's just showing the the apparel side of my vision. The artistic POV of my vision. I want people to, when I'm dead and gone, and they got my pieces and shit like that, they still have a piece of me, and that's what it is. It's embracing the type of things I get inspired by, and um, and they'll be able to see what's going on in my head versus me verbally saying it or just taking a picture. Because I do a lot of things, and I feel like Bod is what it's that hub for me just to embrace what other things I got going on in my life, or just the artistic life rather.
So is that the reason why you got into the apparel like slash industry world?
In a way, yeah, but I just love clothes. Like you got, I'm a fly. I'm a Leo, so I'm a, I'm a little braggadocious, but I love being fly. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love clothes. Like, I feel like a lot of people gotta understand when you walk in a room, you gotta be fly. So, cause that's what's gonna gravitate people to you. You know what I'm saying? That all those little things matter. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like clothing or just essential things matter because it make people feel good. And I want people when they wear my product to feel good. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't play about the quality of shit, you know. And when people wear my shit, I want people to feel the quality
Do you intersect Baj with your creative directing?
for sure.
How do you do that?
Well, the ideas I come up with within a brand is based off of just forming the shoots, forming the 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 video aspect of the clothing. How are we gonna even talking to the graphic designer? I'm able to communicate with the graphic designer, communicate with the photographer, communicate doing the mood boards. So it's like this is a platform for me for other people to that never shot for a brand or did graphic work for a brand or just all those things. So it's just like this. I made bars for not just for me, but for other people that because there's a lot of people that want to shoot for brands, but they be too bougie or you ain't got the credentials or you ain't got that. Don't get me wrong, I'm very particular how I am, but when it comes down to certain things, but my job as Aaron J. Jackson or as me is to get people around a hub so they have the experience. So that's why I say intertwines with the creative direction. Um, and I hate those two words because it's so thrown out there because everybody think they're a creative director, but I I kind of went to school for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand the art, the technical things or elements, or I understand the technical language and know how to to communicate with the photographer. I know how to communicate with the graphic designer. I know how to communicate with a lot of different, even a screen printer. You know what I'm saying? Because I worked in that world. I've been in that world before, so. Um, I hope that answers your question, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Because then it goes
yeah.
into like, how are you able to do that, right, with Baj, and be use your vision,
Mm-hmm.
right, your creative director or your just artistic vision
Mm-hmm.
with commercial demands. Um, Let me re-ask this question. Like, how do you balance your artistic vision with your commercial demands of your project or your brand?
How I balance it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm at a point right now. I'd rather don't get me wrong. If somebody hires me for X, Y, and Z, um, I'm fond to it. But I'm the type of dude right now in my mindset. It's like I'm not trying to just depend on that. Like I'm trying to really do my own thing. I hear a lot of people come up to me like, "Damn, especially South Florida, they're not really hiring a lot of motherfuckers. They gonna hire a motherfucker in New York, and excuse my language, but they gonna hire a motherfucker in New York and LA before they hire a motherfucker in Miami. We get the crumbs of shit. You know what I'm saying from the commercial work. Now don't get me wrong, I've done commercial work, but I feel like every time I've done commercial work, I get the little crumbs of the shit. So I'm like, man, fuck that shit. I'd rather just do my own shit. So I'm at a point where I rather focus on what I do under my brand and learn what I've learned off of the commercial shit and do what I do here. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm building this YouTube shit to where it's like niggas gonna see the lifestyle and understand the elements of how this shit is all about. And this I mean, as you see here, you see a lot of people behind the camera, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a couple people here, like such as myself and, whoever's dealing with the other camera, whatever the case may be. We've done commercial work, or a couple other people here done commercial work, but it's like it's politics in that shit. You feel me? I'd rather build this shit from the ground up and get that experience and do my shit. I always encourage people why you can't do the shit. It might be harder, you feel what I'm saying? But why you can't do this shit? You feel me? Because at the end of the day, once you get that paycheck from them, they don't give a damn about you. So it's like that's how I balance it. I don't even know if that even answers the question, but yeah.
No, it does. I need you to
And
stop
we
doing that.
black though. I ain't trying to make this a black and white thing. We black, so it's like it's politics in that. I ain't gonna get into the too deep, but it's politics in that. So it's just like, why not be independent and do what you do? Like, it's not Bajj is not where it is where how I want it, but it's a start. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is.
So since you're starting this whole vision, especially online with Baj, right? Like within the process, like how are you able to tell your story or within the storytelling to be
Mm-hmm.
able for your audience to really understand one, the vision that you're trying to do, as well as like what it takes to do and to put out the vision?
Imagery. Imagery is the best thing you could do, but also just when it comes down to the clothes, when it comes down to the graphic design, I use the graphics I've used is based on what I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? From the mangoes, like if you're from South Florida, you know if somebody got a mango tree, shit, that's us. That's a South Florida thing. Um, like the last thing with the tag, like shit, the video that we done um, parking lot pimping. Like when we all the old heads they get off work and they just be chilling. So it's just like and they just hang out based off after work drinking their beer. Like that's what I grew up on. So it's just like instead of waiting on getting hired for a job, shit, why not try to bring my ideas to the table and bring it under the brand? You know what I'm saying? And sell clothes. You feel me? It's entrepreneurship. And then it's just a hub, like I said.
With that, could you share a behind the scene moment from one of your shoots that taught you a valuable lesson or has impacted you in your work?
That's a good question. Be more faster. You got to be like it was a shoot. I was shooting what's his name? It was a Latin artist. I can't think of his name right now. I was so nervous in that shoot, but I never fold under pressure. That's one thing. When it comes down to the heat of the moment, I never panic. I might be panicking mentally, but I'm like, I always make sure I calm down. So the shoot, I had to deal with everything fast. I had the manager call me like, "Hey, yo, we about to be there in 10 minutes." I'm like, "Damn, I'm literally down the street." So I'm like, I gotta move fast. So it's telling me like, okay, we gotta set up, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? But that was the manager coming and scope out everything with security and everything. So it was just like that shoot just really taught me I gotta be more. And I was fast or whatever the case may be, but it just taught me like even dealing with the music industry, you gotta be like, in dealing with brands, you gotta be fast. You gotta be fast. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, because they on the time schedule. Because after that, he had to go through a meeting. So it's just like when you dealing with commercial work, you gotta be the executive or the creative director, the art director gonna be behind you, and you gonna feel it. They might be like all the way right there, but you gonna feel them being like, "Yo, hey, you gotta hurry up, my dog. Like, what you got going on?" So it's just like it taught me that you gotta be more faster. Even keep one behind he be getting on my ass like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro, you gotta be faster. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, you gotta separate the artistic, slow down pace versus when you're doing commercial where you gotta be a little bit more faster. And I get it for sure.
So with post production, right? Where you're telling a story, how do you
Mm-hmm.
balance enhancing your image while maintaining the authentic moment? The authentic, I can't say the word, the authenticity of the moment.
So you're saying balancing my brand and
Well, this is like we're in the process section. So we've been
uh
talking about process, especially a
mm-hmm,
lot of way that you've been working. So
mm-hmm.
now we're in post production. In post production, how do you balance the being authentic
Oh.
as well as like creating whatever it's needed to be out there?
I'm authentic. Like I'm very. It's like it's what it is. Like when you see me or just my work, it's what it is. I mean, y'all see my work. You got dudes that's tatted up in the face. You get what I'm saying? So I don't really. I kind of push the boundaries in my work when it comes down to the post shit. Sometimes I have to ask. Sometimes I get too crazy. I have to ask friends. Like, yo, you think I should post this or you think I should release this type of work because it's like it might be too raw. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially my past work where it's like showing guns. It's showing because I know how people feel about guns. I know how people feel about this environment. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to just say I don't give a fuck. It's just what it is, and you have to be that way because that's art. Art is opinionated. How you say opinionated? I probably said it wrong, but it's all good. Um, it's subjective. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta have I don't give a fuck attitude, and I feel like a lot of people are scared of that. It's like, and I feel like a lot of opportunities haven't gone my way because I'm showing the hood, and that's my beginning. I'm talking about more majority of my beginning work. I'm showing too much of the hood. I'm showing a lot of street photography. I'm showing that, and a lot of people be like, "Oh, nah." Some people love it, but then when you try and get into the commercial work of things, they just look at you like, I mean, that's my assumption from my inside looking out. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, for sure.
With that, has there been one or any significant challenges you faced in your career or life? And if so, how did you overcome it?
Repeat that question for me one more time. I'm sorry.
What has been one or some of the most significant challenges you faced in your career or life, and how have you overcome it?
In life,
Hmm. In life.
that's a good question. Sorry, I'm trying to think. Um, in life, shit, I got, shit, I got, when I was younger, I was like, I don't even know if I want to talk about that one right there. Um, Challenges in life, pretty much what you're asking me. I think, and this was like I was a young jitterbug. I was a jit. I would say when I lost my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? I was probably what, 11th grade. I was talking 12, so I was like in 11th grade, and I think that really truly made me a man now. I mean, even though he taught me how to be a man, but that let me know like when my grandma pulled me aside and told me like, look, like your grandfather died. You know what I'm saying? So you you gotta you got now we gotta change little things different around the crib. He wasn't living with us. I mean, they was divorced already or kind of separated, but because he was in a living facility. But I think when she had that talk with me and let me know like, look, things are changing. You gotta pay your own bills. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. And that let me know that's when life just hit me. And I was, what, 16, 15, at a young teenager. And that's one of the moments and stuff like that that I would say that's the epitome of me like figuring out being a man and just being. I had to grow up early. I mean, us growing up in South Florida, you had to grow up early, and that's just what it is. And then yeah, that's what it is. And shout out to my mama, man. Hold up, I got shout out to my mama, man, because you know I we talked about the upbringing, but my mom, I love my mom. You know what I'm saying? She let my grandma raise me because she had me young. You know what I'm saying? And I know this is not what you asked me, but I truly need to speak on this because I feel like my mom don't feel like, you know, I feel like my mom don't. I wouldn't say she don't think that. I think my mom, she kind of second guess, like thinking like, oh, dude, and this is my assumptions, thinking, oh, I don't like, how do my son really fuck with me or whatever? But it's like I love my mama. Like no matter if my grandma raised me, because my grandma's like my mom too, because she raised me. But my mom, I love her dearly. Like I love her from the bottom of my heart. The things I do today is for her.
How have you navigated moments of depression and isolation in your life?
Getting out the house, you definitely got to get out the house because um, if you don't, you're gonna just be so much in your head inside the crib. Because when you isolate yourself, so many thoughts gonna come in, and that's when it becomes very dark. So I always say I always deal with it by just getting some type of sunlight, or even try to just be around people. Because when you're so isolated, you be so isolated based off of negative thoughts. You be so isolated on. I mean, you be so in tune with, am I doing this? What's up with my life? I'm getting older, or you can't think of shit like that. So you got to be around people. When you're not around too many people, and when you're not around people, and then once you get to a time when you're around people, you feel so weird. So I always try to like be around people as much as I can, and being around some type of sunlight because the sun actually helps within yourself for sure.
And with that, being around people with also all the numerous achievements that you've contributed to society, has that initiated the imposter syndrome?
I definitely do. I definitely, definitely, I would say, have imposter syndrome because I've been in so much crazy, not crazy, but some type of rooms where it's like I'm around successful people. I'm like, damn, why my homies are not with me, or why would you call that imposter syndrome? Like shit like that. Like it's like stuff like that. I'll be in the most richest shit or been in some type of rooms where I'm like, damn, I'm the only nigga here, or I'm by myself. I wish my friends was with me. And that's it sucks sometimes, you know what I'm saying, when your endeavors help you out as a human being or as a creative or in your career, and you see your friends, they trying to grind and grind and grind to get in certain rooms. It's like you get to a point where it's like, damn, I wish homies was with me, and you don't want to deal with the success of certain shit without your friends. And I wish, because you can't take everybody with you, but I'm not nowhere near, in my eyes, I feel like I'm nowhere near to where I want to be at, but I be in rooms with a lot of people congratulate me and shit like that, but I just feel like, damn, I got a homie that's just as dope to me. You feel me? And they don't get the praise. So to answer your question, I think I do have. I don't even know that's to answer your question, but I think I do have imposter syndrome, and it sucks. I still deal with it because not everybody could come to you. I lost friends because they feel like I've been in relationships where I feel like they been jealous of me or whatever the case may be. I ain't trying to steer off, but it gets crazy. It
Okay,
gets
this is a
crazy.
two-part question.
Yeah.
So failure and fear can sometimes hold us back. Um, can you share some of your setbacks with failure and fear in your life and your career that have taught you valuable lessons and helped you with your growth?
Always continue to learn and don't be afraid to take an L. You know what I'm saying? Always try to get better. I feel like me getting kicked out of the crib at a younger age, how should I say this? Me not getting opportunities because they selected another photographer and all those little moments. I always say just to never give up, just continue to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Those lessons embrace me to gain knowledge to do my own thing to where people respect the work for sure.
So now, with all this sadness, what brings you joy?
Shit, I love money. Money, I love money, but besides that, nature, movies, get inspired. I love feminine energy, so I definitely women. You know what I'm saying? um, Seeing people around me happy. I mean, you see the people around here. This is family to me. Fuck friends. This is family. Um, I want to get to a point where my joy is my joy would be the people around me are successful at what they do. You know what I'm saying? Not because of me, just more of like shit, them doing what they do, and we all are becoming as one and successful to what we do. You know what I'm saying? And if I happen to help them out, that brings me joy too. Because if I'm able to kick the door down, hey, look, my little homie or my homie is doing what they do. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And hey, I'm telling the executive or the producer, look, little homie got this. Take him in. Trust my word. You know what I'm saying? And that brings me joy to help out one another. And I got that from my grandma for sure. Shout out
Okay.
to my grandma
Shout out
for
to
that.
grandma. What is your favorite movie and why?
I don't got no favorite one. There's too many movies out here. But I could tell you,
Top five?
I can't tell you top five. There's just so many. But I've been watching. I could tell you the show I've been watching lately that really inspires me. The Shy, The Shy. That's a good series. Well, top five. That's a hard question, Fanny. I don't know. That's a hard question.
Five. Five of the ones that have influenced your work and motivates
City of
you.
God.
Okay.
City of God. That's
Hmm.
one of my favorite movies because I relate to the little homie. I relate to the little homie. If you see my work and certain situations that he been through, I kind of been through that in the photography world in Liberty City. So um, I love Quentin Tarantino. So I would say Django. I love Django. That's one of my top favorite movies.
And one more.
Um, American Gangster. American Gangster. I love that movie. Shout out to Denzel Washington. What's that movie Denzel Washington played when it was based off the 30s? Fuck, I can't think of it. I can't think of it. Y'all know the movie? When he was a baseball player, then he had his wife, you know what I'm saying? He got the house and shit. Something with the gate or something like that. Yeah, look it up. That's one movie. Uh Oppenheimer. That's a recent movie, but Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Fences, yes. Fences that shit made me cry. I ain't even gonna lie, cause that related to. That reminds me of my grandma era. She grew up in the '50s. She was born in the '50s, but the way that she was raised, she implied that to me. So I would say Fences is number three.
That's good.
Yeah, I can't. There's so many
Okay.
movies.
What keeps you going and motivated?
What keeps me motivated? Just like I said, just inspiring the people around me. It's making sure that everybody that's around me, or just people in general, let them know that no matter what idea that you have in your mind, just continue to do it. No matter what, however you feeling. You know what I'm saying? I know it gets tough, but don't just keep on pushing. It don't matter. I know it sounds cliche, but just continue to fight, and I guarantee the knowledge you gain, it's gonna achieve to wherever you got going on.
All right, this is a final question that will end everything. What are some of your aspirations for the future of your artistic self? Like, what are your some dreams, some goals,
Shit, I'm making $1 million, I guess.
legacy that you want to
Fuck with
leave?
you.
Yeah.
Um, Shit, making sure everybody. Again, it goes back to
But like
I ain't.
artistically, like not just what you can
Oh,
give to the
making
culture.
finishing my book. That's and that book that this project I'm working on. That's just the mic drop. That's gonna be the end all be all for me, as far as the artistic element, as far as the photography come about.
Because then that brings everything else with money, legacy, providing for everybody.
It's not even the money thing. It's more of the legacy.
Okay.
It's the legacy. It's the Miami legacy, South Florida legacy. That's the mic drop as far as that. And
All
that's just
right.
what
Well,
it
thank
is.
you, Aaron Jane Jackson. That's it.
We in the game. We in it.